Wait, what? Hello? Hey, is this MiHoYo? Yeah, it's Zhongli. Hey, listen. So I'm in the middle of a video right now, but I think you might have accidentally mistyped Zhongli's elemental skill because the scaling, duration, cooldown, it just all doesn't add up. Yeah. Yep. Wait, this was intended. Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Johnny and welcome to another Genshin Impact video. In today's video, since Zhongli and Ganyu's banner are live, we're gonna be reviewing the characters in the second half of version 2.4. For this particular video, we're focusing on Zhongli. Ganyu's will be released shortly after as well, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in finding out if Ganyu is the right character for you. Before we do jump into it, guys, if you do like the video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. This will greatly help our channel to grow and help with the YouTube algorithm and recommend the video to other viewers. Now, without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Many know him as the Geo Archon, Morax, Rex Lapis, Zhongli. But what everyone knows him for is having an unbreakable shield.
I will have order.
Zhongli is a spear user who wields the Geo element. Being Geo, he has access to the Geo Resonance, which boosts shielded characters' damage by 15% when it's activated. I praise this resonance a lot because it's such a powerful resonance. 15% to your overall damage is a pretty noticeable increase. As an added bonus, it also increases shield strength by 15%, meaning his shield will get stronger and help you sustain it by making it more durable. Psh, as if he needed it. Now, his elemental skill is a mouthful, so bear with me. His elemental skill, Dominus Lapidus, has a press and hold activation. The press activation will create a stone steel, which is basically just a stone pillar that deals geo damage. The stone steel also acts as a geo construct and will resonate with other constructs to deal geo damage over time. Other examples of geo constructs are Albedo Solar Isotoma and Geo Traverse Starfell Sword. With most of these geo constructs, you can also climb or interact with them in some way, which could help with exploration. The hold activation unleashes a shockwave that deals AoE geo damage and also creates a stone steel, but additionally creates a shield as well. You might have guessed it, but this is the famous shield that's regarded as unbreakable. There's three main reasons why Zhongli's shield is arcanally powerful. First, his shield's durability scales off of max HP. This works greatly in Zhongli's favor because it's gonna be easier to build as a support. At talent level 9, his shield will scale 21.8% of max HP. Now, I'm not sure how many players are aware, but this is a massive scaling for a shield. It gets better though because that's not even the most broken part about his shield. Secondly, the shield's duration lasts 20 seconds and the cooldown is 12 seconds. Wait, what? Hello? Hey, is this MiHoYo? Yeah, it's Johnny. Hey, listen. So I'm in the middle of a video right now, but I think you might have accidentally mistyped Zhongli's elemental skill because the scaling, duration, cooldown, it just all doesn't add up. Yeah. Yep. Wait, this was intended. This is absolutely insanity. Whenever you have an ability that has a longer duration than its cooldown, but you know it's busted, especially for a shield with this much functionality. Oh yeah, the shield also offers 20% elemental and physical resistance shred, which is the third reason why it's busted. Reducing an enemy's resistance leads to higher damage. What this means for Zhongli is that he's providing a shield for your team on top of increasing their damage because enemies will naturally have less resistance. In Genshin Impact, you have a couple shielders, but these shields are nothing compared to Zhongli's. Even a healer and shielder such as Diona only has 12.24% HP scaling on her shield at talent level 9. The shield also has a stacking mechanic to determine its duration, but even at max value, its duration will last 12 seconds with a 3-second cooldown. To be honest, not bad, but her shield durability will most likely break depending on the amount of damage taken. Zhongli's HP scaling on his shield is almost double that of the second best shielder, and its cooldown is shorter than its duration. As long as you don't sustain too much damage and break his shield, you'll be able to refresh it before it ends and hence earning the title of Unbreakable Shield. Since this also directly relates to his elemental skill, let's take a look at one of his passive talents because we ain't done yet. His passive talent, Resonant Waves, will further fortify the Jade Shield when it takes damage, causing characters to have 5% more shield strength, stacking up to 5 times. This passive is so good. It basically means you get an increase in shield strength by 25%. If you pair this up with Geo Resonance, with Zhongli's shield, you're getting a 40% shield strength increase. And remember, Geo Resonance provides a 15% damage boost when shielded, so this is free damage on top of resistance shred. Since Zhongli's shield has a 100% uptime with all its durability, it also turns Geo Resonance into a 100% uptime. Just a side note though, but when you refresh your shield, you will lose the bonus from Zhongli's passive, so you will have to stack again. Aside from being an Archon support, Zhongli has some pretty good damage as well, mainly his burst. His elemental burst, Planet Befall, summons forth a falling meteor that deals massive AoE geo damage. Upon impact, enemies caught inside the AoE will also receive the petrification status, preventing them from moving for a short period. Massive AoE geo damage is an understatement because at talent level 9, this ability has a whopping 835% multiplier. There are a lot of bursts that deals a lot of damage under certain conditions, like Eula and Raiden Shogun, who have methods of increasing burst damage through stacking. If we're talking about base value and without Vaporize and Melt involved, Zhongli technically has the strongest burst. His second passive talent, Dominance of Earth, further increases his damage as a support or main DPS because now, all of his ability basically scales off of max HP. Suddenly, building Zhongli just got even easier. Normal, charge, plunging attacks will increase by 1.39, elemental skill by 1.9, and lastly and the biggest one, elemental burst by 33% of max HP. Whether you're trying to build Zhongli as a support or DPS, this passive will work to make him gain the best of both worlds. Stacking HP for an insane shield, suddenly, burst does damage. Want to do normal attacks and other forms of damage? Well, he has one of the highest base HP. Whew. Finally, for his last passive talent, Arcanum of Crystal, he just refunds 15% of ores used for pole-arm weapons. Not the best in the world that we've seen, but they had to tone him down somehow. For weapons, spears are one of the most stacked weapon types in this game because, well, you have weapons like Staff of Homa and Primordial Jade Spear for crit stats, which will further improve your damage. Alternatively, for 4 stars, you have Blackcliff Pole, Deathmatch, and even the Lithic Spear, which will revolve around a Liyue-centric team. Depending on how you build your Zhongli, if you're leaning more towards damage, then these are great weapon choices. However, if you want to build Zhongli as more support with his burst for petrification, then Energy Recharge is the way to go. Engulfing Lightning, Skyward Spine for 5-star options, and Favonius Lance and the Catch as 4-star options. Now, most players will probably lean towards building Zhongli with an unbreakable shield, which you want to stack HP as much as possible or shield strength. This is why a weapon like Staff of Homa is going to be a crazy weapon for him for both damage and support. On top of the 66.2% crit damage you're gaining, his passive also increases HP by 20%. His own spear, Vortex Vanquisher, deserves some mention as well because it increases shield strength by 20% and provides a lot of attack if you can land attacks on your opponents. Support Zhongli will mainly be off-field, but you can try to aim with the Stone Steel to hit the target. Players will also be excited to know that Zhongli will also have a FTP option in the Black Tassel. This is a 3-star weapon, which is easily accessible. Unfortunately, the passive is just garbo, so higher refinements won't do him much good, but it does have a secondary stat of HP, which goes up to 46.9% at level 90, and this will be his best in slot for highest amount of HP. For artifacts, his best in slot for support is going to be Tenacity of the Millilith, which is the set that was meant for him. The 2-piece provides a 20% HP increase, while its 4-piece will provide a 20% attack buff and 30% shield strength for all party members when an elemental skill hits an opponent. Since the Stone Steels will resonate and deal damage, Zhongli can be off-field and still trigger this buff. It does only last 3 seconds though and can be triggered once every 0.5 seconds. In the middle of a battle, it might prove challenging to maintain this buff at all times, especially since you'll have to reposition his elemental skill with mobile targets, so it will be inconsistent. Overall though, if you don't have a 4-piece Tenacity, I would just settle for a 2-piece and call it a day. Remember that Zhongli's burst also does damage and can petrify enemies, so Energy Recharge for more usage or burst damage aren't bad options for him. You can mix and match 2-piece Tenacity with 2-piece Emblem or even Noblesse as well. If you're building Zhongli as mainly a support, then what's important are HP main stats and substats for artifacts. Set effects are great and all, but on Zhongli, it's not mandatory. Team comps, oh boy, this is gonna be a very easy section. With Zhongli, he can fit in just about any team comp, and the main reason is because you don't generally build a team around Zhongli, but instead, Zhongli builds around the team. It'll mainly depend on what you need, but because Zhongli can occasionally even take the place of a healer with his arcanically strong shield and all, you'll have more diversity. If corrosion isn't involved, I sometimes don't even run a healer and just put more damage or other supports that can buff the party. However, there are certain characters that Zhongli is great with. Ideally, you'd want to pair Zhongli with characters that either weaken themselves or don't want to get interrupted. A couple characters that come to mind are Hu Tao, Zhao, and Ganyu. Hu Tao and Zhao have different mechanics that decrease the HP. With Hu Tao specifically, she gains more damage with low HP, so Zhongli can help her maintain her HP and in return, get stronger. Zhao loses HP whenever he wields the Yaksha Mask, with no mechanic of gaining back HP, so you will need a healer. What you generally want to pair Zhongli with Zhao though is because Zhao's plungers can get interrupted, and interruption to attacks does lead to less damage, and in Zhao's case, can even sometimes be his demise because fall damage. He also sometimes runs into weird bugs as well, so I like to run Zhongli with him to help minimize those bugs. Ganyu is a similar case as Zhao with interruption. Because Ganyu relies on charge attacks, it can generally leave her susceptible to damage and interruption. Zhongli would also work great with another Geo character because, well, Geo Resonance is a thing. If you have a team that consists of another Geo character already, throw in a Zhongli for free damage and shield. Now comes the question, should you pull for Zhongli? If Zhongli is one of your favorites, then heck yes. If you want a character with an unbreakable shield and will be future-proof for eons to come, then heck yes. Now, this is the part where I would normally say yada yada yada, then I would proceed with caution, but not with Zhongli because he's really that good. I guess if you're a player that wants a challenge and might not need a support, then that's something to consider because Zhongli will undoubtedly make your Genshin Impact experience much easier, but that's more of a preference than on Zhongli. For eons, Zhongli has been regarded as a top tier support, and it's mainly because of his elemental skill. Due to its durability, low cooldown, and long duration, teams can occasionally get away without having a healer. If a shielder can single-handedly take the place of a healer, you know that it must be broken. Granted, there are times when a shield will be ineffective though. Corrosion is a perfect example because it deals damage even if a shield is active, so healers use them during those times. Zhongli's primary role was meant to be a support. As a support, he's the best FTP character because players would mainly want to stack HP and strengthen his shield. Also, another fact that might not be known to most is that artifacts tend to have main stat for HP and defense, which means for artifact choices, even if you don't have tenacity of the Millith, you can put together a bunch of random artifacts and still make them viable. The 3-star weapon, Black Tassel, is also his best in slot for maximizing HP and easily accessible since you will get this weapon on your journey. Overall, look at your team and see what you need. As good as Zhongli is, players will still be able to get through content just fine without him. On my FTP account, I don't have Zhongli since I have him on my main account, and I make it a habit to not pull for the same characters twice to get as many 5-stars as possible. Now, despite not owning him, my FTP account clears the Spiral Abyss at ease, so by no means is he a must pull because no character really is. But in this scenario that players do, he's honestly very worth it and such a killer character. Like, come on, he has one of the best tracks and character trailers! Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to smash that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to also turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on any newly released videos. I've been Johnny D, and until next time, I'll catch you guys in the next one!